Assalamu alaikum. In this class, we are going to discuss about unit number 1, problem solving techniques, chapter number 4, algorithmic strategies. First topic, introduction to algorithmic strategies. In this topic, we are going to learn two important terms. Number 1, algorithm. Number 2, algorithmic strategy. What is algorithm? Of course, we learned this term in our previous class. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving a given problem. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving a given problem. Before we write any program, we should know algorithm. We should prepare for algorithm. Without algorithm, we are unable to write any program. Algorithm is like a map for any engineer who start constructing a building. Second term is algorithmic strategy. The way of defining an algorithm is called algorithmic strategy. So, algorithmic strategy is a way of defining an algorithm. How to define, how to create, which instruction should become first, which one is second, which one is third. This defining is called algorithmic strategy. So, next topic is 4.11 characteristics of an algorithm. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the characteristics of algorithm. First character is input. Every algorithm must have zero or more quantities of input. Second character is output. At least one output should be produced by an algorithm. Third character is finiteness. The instruction, the procedure which we created, which we define inside an algorithm must be terminated after number of steps. It should be completed. It should not in a. It should be completed at any step. Number 4, definiteness. All operations should be well defined. For example, operation involving division by zero or taking square root for negative numbers are unacceptable in any mathematical standard. Like these type of instructions should not be given in the algorithm. So these are the four important character of algorithm. Number 1, input. Number 2, output. Number 3, finiteness. Number 4, definiteness. Input means number of input. Zero or more inputs. Output character must at least one output. Finiteness means after some number of steps, algorithm should be completed. Definiteness must the unacceptable instruction should not be in the algorithm. Okay. Next character is effectiveness. Every instruction in the algorithm should be effective, should give some result to the overall operation. Number 2, correctness. Algorithm should be error free. Whatever instruction which we given in the algorithm should be free from all errors or bugs. Number 3, simplicity. Algorithm should be simple. Complex algorithm create more complexity. So whatever instruction, whatever procedure we are defining in algorithm strategy should be simple. Number 4, unambiguous. Algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. Unambiguous means clearness, clarity. There should not any confusion between instruction or a way of defining an algorithm. Each of its steps and their inputs and outputs should be clear and must lead to only one meaning. It means whenever we are giving an instruction in algorithm, when we are algorithm, the instruction should produce some output or some effect to the overall program, and this instruction should not disturb other instruction or other group of instruction. So these are another four group of characteristics. Number 1, effectiveness. Number 2, correctness. Number 3, simplicity. Number 4, ambiguous. Okay. Next character is feasibility. Feasibility means possibilities. Whatever possibilities are available in the algorithm, we should use the possibilities and make sure the result should be clear and very very effective to the programmer. Next character is portable. Algorithm which we create, it should be portable. It should be run in any language, in any operating system. Number 3, independent. An algorithm should have step-by-step direction which should be independent of any programming code. So portable is Portable means the algorithm which we create, it should be run in any language, it should be suitable to any language, it should be suitable to any operating system. In the same way, the algorithm which we create, it should be independent. Independent means the direction, the instruction should be free from all dependencies. So these are the 11 important characteristics of algorithm. So next our topic is writing an algorithm. How we can start writing an algorithm? Before we start the writing algorithm, we should consider three important steps. Number one, input. Number two, process. Number three, output. Input means what are the inputs are required for this algorithm. It should be clearly defined before we starting writing algorithm. Number two, process. In this process step, we should know what we are doing with this input. Number three, output. In this step, we should know what will be the output. At least we should predict the output of the algorithm. So these are the three important steps in writing algorithm. Number one, input. In this step, we should know what are the inputs we required. Number two, process. In this step, what we should know what we are going to do with these inputs. Number three, output. What will be the output of this overall algorithm or instruction? At least we should predict the output. Next, here a simple example for writing a algorithm. It is a real life example, making a coffee. For if you want to create if you want to prepare a coffee, what are the inputs we need? First, we need a bowl. Second, we need a coffee powder. Number three, we need a water. Next, we need a filter. Next, we need milk. Next, we need a serving cups. These are the inputs. By using these inputs, we are going to start the second step process. What we are going to do with these inputs? First, take a bowl with a coffee powder. So we are in this step we are using two inputs. Number one, bowl and a coffee powder. Number two, step number two, boil the water and pour it into the bowl. The third input is used in the second step, the water. We are boiling the water and pour it into the bowl. Number three, after boiling the water, we filter it. Number four, boiling the milk. Here we are using fourth input, milk. We are boiling this. We are boiling the milk. In the step number five, we are using another important input, sugar, and filter coffee along with the boiled milk. We are mixing three inputs here: sugar, coffee powder, milk. Number six, now coffee is ready. We are ready to pour the coffee into the cups to serve. So these are important process. Finally, we get the output coffee. So in this in this algorithm, we can easily understand what are the inputs. So here the inputs, I repeat, the inputs are coffee powder, water, milk, sugar, and other uh, serving cups. Next, now we are going to discuss the same algorithm in a mathematical procedure. In this example, we are going to find the square root of the given number. For example, if you take to find the square root of the number, what we required? We required any number. First, we want to any number. By using that number, we can able to find the square root of that number. So, what is the step? First, start the process. Step number one, start the process. Step number two, get the input x. X is the input here. So, without input, we are unable to process any uh, instruction. Step number three, calculate the square by multiplying the input values. Here we are implementing the second step, that is process. In the step two, we implement the input work. Now in the step number three, we implement the process. Here we are multiplying the input x into x. Number four, finally we get the output which we are going to display to the user. Step number four, display the result square. After displaying the result, we should stop. We should terminate the algorithm. That is step number five, stop. So in this simple example, we are able to understand how to write an algorithm. First, we have to define the input. Number two, we should know the process. Number three, output. After getting the output, we should terminate or we should stop the algorithm. Next topic is difference between algorithm and program. First point, Algorithm helps to solve a given problem logically and it can be contrasted with the program. So algorithm helps to solve the problem logically, but program is an expression of algorithm in a programming language. Whatever logic we created in the algorithm, we just write in any language and express it in the form of instruction. So program is an expression, algorithm is a problem, uh, logical steps, procedures. Number two, algorithm can be categorized based on their implementation method, designing techniques. In the same way, programs can be implemented by structured or object-oriented programming languages. Number three, there is no specific rules for algorithm writing, but some guidelines should be followed. In program, there is a strict rules. These rules are called syntax. See, program should be written for the selected language with specific syntax. Then syntax may vary from language to language. Fourth point, algorithm resembles a pseudocode which can be implemented in any language. Whatever algorithm we write in the form of pseudocode. Pseudocode is a simple English mixed language, hint language. Number fourth point in the program is a more specific to programming languages. So there is a four different points for algorithm and program. Next topic is analysis of algorithm. So in the last topic we understand what is algorithm, what is algorithm strategies, next how to write an algorithm, what are the important steps in writing algorithm and characteristics of algorithm. Now we are going to analyze the algorithm. So in this section we are going to discuss what is the efficiency, how we can calculate the efficiency of the algorithm. Efficiency of the algorithm can be calculated in two: complexity, number one; time, number two; space. So whatever algorithm we created, it should be written in any programming language and then executed. The time of execution and running time is important for any programmer. Based upon the time only, we evaluate every process. If you take more time and give less result, then the algorithm is failed. So time is a precious one. Number two, space complexity. Here, space refers to the memory consumption of the algorithm. So algorithm should be lightweighted and it should run very fast and produce a good result. So these are the two important complexity. Number one is time, number two is space, which we are going to discuss in this topic. First, analyzing of algorithm can performance evaluation can be divided into two different phases. So we can analyze any algorithm in two different phases. One is pre-rear, second one is posterior. Pre-rear is a theoretical performance analysis where we just assume the capacity or the efficiency of the algorithm, but we cannot define, but we cannot confirm the efficiency of the algorithm. But in posterior, after creating algorithm, we implemented this algorithm in any programming language and create a new program and then run that program. After running the time, after running the program, we calculate the time requirement for the execution and running of the program, and we calculate the memory consumption of the program. By using these, we definitely we can say what is the efficiency of the algorithm, because we exactly know how much of time required for running and execution of this program, and then how much of memory concept consumed by this algorithm. So these are the two different phases. One is pre-rear, second one is posterior. Pre-rear is purely based on assumption. Theoretically we calculate time requirement and memory consumption, but in posterior we create a program, we run the program, we calculate the time, we calculate the memory consumption. Based upon this calculation we define the uh, efficiency of the algorithm. Next topic is complexity of an algorithm. So here we repeat the same thing, time complexity. Suppose here in the example, a is an algorithm and n is the size of the input data. Whatever the input required for this algorithm is assumed as a n. Here, time complexity. Time complexity of an algorithm is given by the number of steps taken by the algorithm to complete the process. So, if you write many steps to complete the work, then the time complexity will also be increased. So, we should be clear that our our algorithm should be in a effectively work on program. Second is space complexity. Space complexity is very based upon two parts because we are using different variables, different constant. Sometimes these variables are repeatedly used and stored in different names in memory space. These variable and these based upon these variables and constant, the space complexity is defined into two part. One is fixed part. Number two is variable part. In fixed part, whatever variable, whatever constant we created before we get into the program is fixed. There is no changes. If you define four variable means at the end of the algorithm there is only four variable. We only use four variable. But in variable part, if we create four variable and we are using any variable in loop means the number of variable or the number of memory consumption may vary based upon the input given by the program. Suppose we, for example, regression is used to calculate the factor of given value of n, it means based upon the input that is n value, the number of variable, number of values may vary. For example, if you want to find the factorial for 3 means we use three numbers 1 into 2 into 3. So here only three variables are used. If you are using 5 means where five values are used. So based upon the input, if your input is 5, then the memory consumption also increased. If your input is 3, the memory consumption will reduced. So based upon the input, the memory consumption may vary. So this concept is called a space complexity. In this concept we understand two part. One is fixed part where there is no changes in the number of variable. Number two, variable part where the variable which we created and which we are using it may vary. We created only four variables but we used based upon the input of the program. So this is called space complexity. So in this space complexity we calculate we calculate the memory consumption of the algorithm. Second topic is efficiency of an algorithm. So efficiency means there is only two things. One, minimum use of resource, maximum output. This is the best concept of any any efficiency calculating method. So here also we use the same thing. For maximum efficiency of an algorithm, we wish to minimize resource usage because resources are very important like time and space. Here, method for determining the efficiency. So, if you calculate the time complexity, the time efficiency can be calculated based upon different factors because based upon the speed of the machine, the time consumption may vary. If you are using a heavy process machine, a smart and a speed machine, then the time requirement will be reduced. But if you are using a low version of machine, then the speed of the CPU may speed also reduced and time consumption also increased. So based upon the speed of the machine, number two, and compiler and other system software tools which we are using for running or executing a program, it's also plays an important role for the time consumption because if you are using a older version of compiler or system software, it may take more time. Next, operating system. So one of the important factor in time complexity is operating system. If you are using 32-bit or 64-bit operating system, the memory consumption or the time consumption also may vary. Next factor is operating system. Based upon the operating system also, efficiency of the algorithm may vary. If you are using 32-bit or 64-bit operating system, the time requirement for the process may vary. Third, our third next factor is programming language which you use. If you are using older version of a programming language, it may require many time to compile and execute. The same way, volume of data requirement is also plays an important role in the determining the efficiency of the algorithm. So these are the main factors for determining the efficiency of the algorithm. Number one, speed of the machine. Number two, compiler and other system tools which are used for algorithm. Number three, operating system. Number four, programming language which used for programming. Next, volume of data requirement for the algorithm. Next topic is space time trade-off. Space time trade-off means when we create an algorithm, there is a many algorithm for a single problem. Some algorithm consume space, some algorithm consume time. Based upon the conception of the space and time, algorithm may vary. So sometimes some algorithm run very fast, but it require memory space, high amount of memory space. Some algorithm requirement of the memory space is very less, but it work for long time. So based upon the programmer requirement, we want to choose the memory consumption algorithm or time consumption algorithm. The option for this memory consumption or space consumption or time consumption algorithm is the concept which we discuss in this topic, that is space time trade-off. So trade space time or time memory trade-off is a way of solving in less time by using more storage space, or by solving a given algorithm in very little space by spending more time. Less time, more storage. More storage, less time. This is the simple concept which you should understand in this topic. So time space trade-off refers to the situation where you can reduce the use of memory at the cost of slower program execution, or reduce the runtime reduce the runtime at the cost of increased memory usage.